like to call to order the regular Common Council meeting for Tuesday, January 19th. Let's rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Councilor Olson.
Here.
Councilor Bridge.
Here.
Councilor Bender.
Here.
Councilor Mertzik is excused. Councilor Anderson.
Here.
Councilor Hendry.
Here.
Councilor Finsland.
Here.
Councilor Herrick.
Here.
Councilor McKenzie.
Here.
Councilor Dahlbeck.
Here.
Councilor Nowicki.
Here.
And Councilor Emmer.
Thank you. We're going to have Arthur Gildelamadrid come up right now and introduce some special guests for the City Council here tonight. I think we're just thrilled to have them with us tonight. Arthur, do you want to push that button and turn the little light on there? There you go.
How about that? We have with us tonight some Boy Scouts from Troop 204 who are working on their citizenship in the community merit badge. And one of the requirements for that merit badge is that they attend a city council meeting. And that merit badge is basically a study of how city government works. And one of the things they're supposed to do is examine some of the issues that you guys are going to be talking about. So they'll be taking notes maybe. And afterwards, Councilman Warren Bender has agreed to meet with us to talk to us a little bit more about some of the issues. So.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And welcome. Welcome to all of you. It's nice to have you here. I'll ask for the approval of the minutes. Motion by Mr. Dahlbeck, second by Mr. Bender. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Minutes are approved.
Item 6 is the consent agenda.
Motion by Mr. Finsland, second by Esther Dahlbeck. Any items you'd like pulled for other consideration? Seeing none, I'll ask for the approval of the consent agenda. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Consent agenda is approved.
The seventh order is business by department head. 7.1, a contract with Rattler Corporation of Stevens Point, Wisconsin for master park planning services at a cost of $29,780.
Second.
I missed that. We had some interesting noises happening. Who was the motioner? Mr. Hendry, and the seconder was Mr. Bridge. Okay. A motion and a second. Any discussion on 7.1? Mr. McKenzie.
I see Mary Morgan is here. One question, Mary. I just wondering, is there going to be room in this master plan? Of course, this is just under study, but is there going to be any room for a master plan for playground equipment in Billings Park?
Councilor, a sum of money has been budgeted in the CIP in the year 2011 for playground equipment in Billings Park, as well as a pavilion and a restroom. A portion of the master park planning services will provide us with a conceptual design plan of the whole of Billings Park so that we can appropriately place those items.
Wonderful. Thanks.
Any more questions? Mr. Anderson.
Well, and also, just so people are aware, we discussed also additional lighting in Central Park to go into the master plan, and also the possibility of looking into the idea of changing over to LED lights in all of our park lighting if possible to save money on power requirements. And so that'll all be part of the study for the master plan.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other input? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 7.1 passes. Mary is on her way to an event right now, so this is why she is leaving us. So thank you very much. She's receiving an award, so thank you.
Item 7.2 is requesting authorization for the sale of excess and obsolete fleet vehicles and equipment through the use of public auction and/or public sale for the year 2010.
Motion by Mr. Dahlbeck, second by Councilor Anderson. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 7.2 passes.
8.1 is business by the mayor. Mayor Ross is appointing Denise Kovaleski to the Library Board for a 3-year term, and Robert Finstead to the Assessment Board of Review for a 5-year term.
Motion by Counselor Finzel, second by Mr. McKenzie. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed say no. 8.1 passes.
8.2, Mayor Ross is requesting the council change the policy to eliminate the allocation of a city vehicle to the mayor in exchange for a monthly vehicle allowance of $400. And you do have a handout tonight from Finance Director Vito.
Motion by Counselor Dahlbeck, second by Counselor Bridge. Any discussion? Mr. Hendry.
Yeah, I would tend to think it should go through a committee. Can I at this time make a motion to refer it to finance? Is that appropriate?
Certainly is.
Pardon?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. Make a motion to refer to finance committee.
Second by Mr. Bender. This motion precedes Mr. Anderson. Oh, excuse me, I saw you pushing your button. I guess I anticipated a comment.
Are you trying to reach on mine?
No, you were looking for your button. So we'll vote on this motion. Any discussion? Mr. Hendry. Oh, your light is on.
Oh, still got it on.
Okay. There's a motion.
I just think it's a little more complicated than what it seems at first. There's a money part involved in it, and then there's a part where the reasons for the not using the vehicle anymore, and there might be a little more involved than what comes out at first, and there might be a little more discussion that individuals want to have on it. So I thought it might be a good idea to go to finance.
Let me just make some comments. This is really not complicated at all, quite simple. There are no mayors that are given cars. This is an unusual and extravagant benefit given to the mayor of the city of Superior. Even the mayor of Duluth, which is a city of 3 times our size, does not receive a car. This is, for some reason Bob maybe won't mind because I'm just going to interject a conversation I had with Mr. Finzel. We don't even know where this benefit started and how it started or who precipitated it, because Bob told me an old story about him and Mayor Bergson, and apparently he didn't have a car at that time. There was some sort of assignment out of the pool. This is really quite normal for city business. It's an extravagant benefit. It's too expensive for this office, and a stipend is really quite a common course of action, so it really is not a complicated issue. But we'll vote on the motion. Anyone else? Councilor Anderson.
Well, I think that it may have resulted from, at one time, when there was a disaster here at Superior, and as you're probably aware of, when it comes to disaster declarations and whatnot, the mayor has a role in that, along with members of the city government. And in times of emergencies, when communication systems are down, the normal communication systems are down. The mayor's car used to, at one time, have a radio in it.
You're right,
and a
it did.
police radio. And I think that it probably was left over from that sort of planning, from emergency services type of planning. I don't think it's necessarily an extravagant thing. You have to, the city of Superior is platted at about the same size as the city of Milwaukee. So from one end of the city to the other, of the mayor's traveling around to visit various groups within the city, there's certainly, I think, some precedent for having a car, and why this mayor in the city of Superior would have one as opposed to other places. Not to mention the fact that you do, in fact, travel, and we are 320 miles away from Madison, and I think we understand there are some reasons why a mayor and other members of the city government need to go to Madison to lobby for our interests. So I don't think it's necessarily, unusual that a mayor here has a car. Secondly, it's for your use, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be, assigned to the pool, and other people could use it when you're not. So I don't think just because we have the car, it's necessarily a bad thing. And it does say in our ordinances, it is assigned to you, and it is available for you to use for your personal use. That's part of the ordinance. The only caveat on the personal use is that if it's not city business, you're supposed to reimburse the city for that mileage. So, as it is, I don't really see any reason why we need to change it. It's pretty good right now, I think, but we'll talk about it in committee, I guess.
So, vote on the motion, or one more comment on the motion to refer. Yeah, this is not a motion to, we have, Mr. Hendry has a motion and a second to refer to Finance Committee.
Okay.
So, Mr. McKenzie.
I just want to say that I think all the intentions here are good. There are some concerns from the general public, from my district. They think that maybe we should explore a couple of other options, just to make sure it's the right thing for you. So I guess with that, with that in mind, with, people contacting me and asking me a few questions about it, considering maybe options would be a good thing, and so that's why I'd be in favor to have this referred to Finance Committee.
The option will be is I won't take the car. So, I mean, if you want, I want the car. So if you want to force the car down my throat, it'll be parked. I will not use a city vehicle. And I've been very clear about that. And so whatever you decide, I'm not taking the car.
Right.
So
But I
if you
think
want
there are a few other options on how you could. I mean, there's talk about possibly just mileage, use of a fleet car. There are other options.
I will not use city equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm very clear about that.
Discussion will be good in finance.
Sure. Well, if your motion is to give me a car, I'll refuse it.
Okay.
So you can do what you want. So we have a motion and a second. We need a vote to refer to Finance Committee. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
No.
Okay, I think the ayes have it, but we'll roll call. Yeah. I think you're right. I think the ayes have it. I heard the ayes. I don't know. Is any dispute with that? Exactly, yeah. Okay, so it goes to Finance Committee. Marty, we would have had you speak if we would have gone back to the original motion. Now it goes to committee, so you'll have your chance to speak there, so. Well, this item number now has been referred, but if you'd like to speak, that would be fine.
Sure. And I would like to make one little quick comment for the scouts that are here. Well, I think it's wonderful they're here, but also maybe to the member of our council and the mayor. Very few cities allow citizens to comment during a public session like this. It's usually business by public at the end. So hopefully the scouts learn a little bit from this, and this is something that I feel that our city does is just excellent to let even me speak.
That's right.
I did have a little longer speech asking you guys to send this to the Finance Committee. You did it already. But I would like to read part of my speech and part of the logic behind this and maybe add a couple comments to your conversation. And so I will do that. Marty Curtis, 5301 East First, because I know you like that and I forgot. Well, some of us think the proposal by the mayor to end taxpayer funding ride is a politically motivated. I do not know whether it was political ploy or an honest attempt to save the citizens of Superior money. The important thing here is I believe we can save Superior taxpayers money. And I did email you a bunch of stuff that talked about whether or not you could change the salary. And I had one that I couldn't email it, and it talked about the monthly general expense and auto expense payment paid to the mayor and members of the council may be increased, and I assume it means increased or decreased, midterm without violating 6209(6)B of the statutes. And one of the things is the mayor talked about a $400 figure. I don't know if an arbitrary figure is really good. I think it should be either based on actual mileage or actual cost. And perhaps for longer business trips where the mayor is going down to the southern part of the state or something, maybe a fleet vehicle would be acceptable, because a fleet vehicle is already have a payment being made on, already has the insurance, and this would save citizens even more. Sometimes that might not be possible, but if there's a fleet vehicle available, it would sure be nice to, if that would be an option considered to save us more money. Thanks very much for your time.
Very good. Moving on to 10.1.
10.1 is a public resolution setting a public hearing for March 2nd to vacate East 3rd Street between Hill Avenue and D Streets, and to vacate D Street between East 4th and East 3rd Streets.
Motion by Councilor Anderson, second by Councilor Dahlbeck. Any discussion on 10.1? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 10.1 passes.
10.2 is a resolution introduced by the Police Chief, asking the Common Council to support the memorandum of understanding between the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the Superior Police Department.
I heard Mr. McKenzie and Mr. Anderson. Is that close enough? Okay. Any discussion on 10.2? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 10.2 passes.
10.3 is a resolution approving the execution of a development agreement and lease agreement in connection with the Superior Amateur Hockey Association project.
Motion by Mr. Olson, second by Councilor Dahlbeck. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 10.3 passes.
10.4, a resolution introduced by Councilors Benders and Finsland thanking Congressman Obie, Senator Cole, Senator Jelk, Assemblyman Milroy for their roles in many economic and building projects in the city of Superior and Douglas County.
Motion by Mr. Bender, second by Mr. Bridge. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, Mr. Anderson.
I'd like to move to amend that to include the entire council as introducing this, or at least the 9 members that are here. I can't speak for the councilor that isn't.
Do we need a second motion for an amendment? Yes, okay. Okay, a motion by Councilor Anderson, a second for the motion, Mr. Bender. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Back to the original motion. Any more discussion?
Motion, please.
Mr. Bender, and adding the city council as...
Right.
And then...
As the sponsors.
Yes.
Right.
Mr. McKenzie.
Can I make a comment just on the resolution?
Yes.
I think this is tremendous. If you look at this resolution, all the funding that we've gotten from our legislators down in Madison, just to name a few, the Fraser Shipyards, the Jim Danhill Library, $250,000 for the ballast treatment, Great Lakes Maritime Research, and for my district, upgrades to the Billings Park, also for Salt Superior for the wastewater and stormwater. And I think the big thing for me is the Arrowhead Pier funding, over $245,000, thanks to Senator Jelk and Milroy. This is not just good for the district, it's good for all of Superior and anybody who comes here for tourism. So I applaud them. Thank you.
Here, Mr. Olson.
I would just like to add, I think there was a lot of you folks that went over to UWS today. They had the opening of the Yellow Jacket Union, and that was part of the 3 projects that there was millions of dollars that came to the university campus, first time in 30 years, if I'm not mistaken. Right now, there is currently, the library is done. The youth center opened up. We're going to be holding a Superior Days event there in a couple of weeks. And the Swenson Hall project, or the academic center, is well underway. And in the construction industry, this brought a lot of good-paying jobs to Superior, to the surrounding areas. I've always boasted about the dollar bill turning over 7 times when we spend money here in Superior. And this is a prime example in these building projects, the other projects that Mick mentioned, but this has really been a good shot in the arm. Our economy is in the tank here and nationwide, so this was a good, well-thought-out effort by not only these legislators, but the City of Superior, our leadership, and everybody else that lobbied, spent a lot of time, a lot of thankless hours at getting these projects done. So,
Mr. Bender, then Mr. Herrick. Mr. Bender, then Mr. Herrick.
Yes. I just wanted to ask Chief Peters if he would comment about Congressman Obie's office working on a forensic tech grant.
Be glad to do that. We're very pleased in the police department and the sheriff's department for the support we've received through Congressman Obie's office. For a couple of years, I know many of you are aware that we've been doing a great deal of work in the area of forensic technology, data recovery, and Internet crimes against children work. And we've been trying to start a forensic task force here, an Internet crimes against children task force in our region. And previous attempts to seek funding and grants has not been beneficial. We met with Congressman Obie's staff in the fall of 2008 and made a proposal seeking appropriation through him. and received notice a few weeks ago that that has been approved by the Senate and signed by President Obama, and an amount of up to $580,000 will fund a position in our department and an investigator in the Sheriff's Department to allow us to start that task force this spring. So we're very pleased with that, the support that's been provided by his office, and in particular, probably the vision that one of his staff, Matt Rudick in Superior and Renee Daniels in Wausau, caught for the work we're doing that isn't being done anywhere else in the state. So we're pleased to get that underway, and we'll have the funding now to manage that for the next 3 years. And some of the subcommittees of the council have heard me speak on this already. I was at the Human Resources Committee yesterday seeking the approval, contingent upon receiving the funding, to add another officer to our department and create another position for a sergeant. And then many of you know Sergeant Nick Alexander will be assigned to manage the day-to-day operations of that task force for our department. So it's great news considering we've not found the funding in the past.
And Pete, didn't you say that the congressman may be here in February to...
Yeah, I was told that he may try to make it up here the third week of February himself to see what we're planning, what we're trying to accomplish.
That would be great. Thank you.
Mr. Herrick.
Yeah, I just want to say that it's important, for example, for the funding we got for the water treatment. Again, we got to realize this is just information basically for the public and for the scouts out there tonight, that we get a lot of mandates from the federal government as far as how our water is treated. And the more funds we can get from other than city sources, the better off we are. So I'd like to thank them for that, for their work in that area.
Mr. Anderson.
Well, I just wanted to expand along that a little bit, what Mr. Herrick said. Congressman Ovey's office has been very instrumental in implementing the 154 legislation monies, and these monies are monies that are spent in the entire 7th District, but in particular we've had quite a number of projects here in Superior relating to sewers, to our upgrading the sewer plant with our the new disinfection system that uses ultraviolet light as opposed to using chlorine, which some of you may know chlorine is a dangerous chemical in the water system. And without Congressman Ovey's input, we wouldn't have fences around the airport in Superior. And now we have a new terminal going up out there. If you haven't been out there to see that, this is there's good things going on here in Superior. All the upgrades that are happening at Fraser Shipyard is going to be very important for the refitting of some of the lake ships that are going to need repowering and things over the next few years, as there's changes in fuel requirements out in the Great Lakes for some of these ships, and they're going to have to be repowered. And the shipyard, when they're ready to announce, also has new things they're going to be doing. So the dock walls and the slips down there, the money that Congressman Ovey, along with Representative Milroy and Jalk and Senator Jalk, are helping to revamp that facility from 1950s technology up to the present day, which is necessary for that shipyard to get back in business and put a lot of people back to work here in Superior. So there's a lot of benefit to what these legislators that we have in Madison and Washington are doing for us, and I'm very happy we're thanking them for that.
So, seeing no more discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 10.4 passes.
11.1 is an ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the traffic code by adding a disabled parking zone at 1123 Grand Avenue.
Motion by Counselor Dalbeck, second by Counselor Bender. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 11.1 passes.
11.2, an ordinance introduced by City Attorney Prell amending Chapter 2, Administration, Unclaimed Lost or Abandoned Property to reflect the disposition of money seized as contraband.
Motion by Counselor Dalbeck, second by Counselor Anderson. Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 11.2 passes.
11.3 is ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the traffic code by removing 20-minute parking on Faxon Street between Catland and Fisher Avenues.
Motion by Counselor Anderson, second by Counselor Bender. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. 11.3 passes.
11.4, an ordinance introduced by Assistant Public Works Director Getzman amending the zoning code the Special Area Management Plan.
Motion by Counselor McKenzie, second by Counselor Anderson. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, say no.
11.5 is an ordinance introduced by City Clerk Klun amending Chapter 2 Administration, Common Council.
Motion by Counselor Dahlbeck, second by Counselor Bender. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. 11.5 passes.
11.6, an ordinance introduced by City Clerk Klun amending Chapter 104 Property Maintenance Code, weeds.
Motion by Counselor Finland, second by Counselor Dahlbeck. I think if my ears heard me right. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion passes. I'll have a motion to adjourn.